Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. It has been a little bit. Some of you were here yesterday, some of you were here last week, some of you were, never here. But welcome to Graham Crackers, channel where we like to play games with friends. And what better than friends you've made on the internet? I am the DM for Anarion's Rest, which we are once again resuming after our week-long rest to recharge our roleplay batteries. I will be playing everyone who is not the party, but I am more importantly joined by some fantastic, fabulous, fantastical people who need no introduction, but you know what? I think they do need some introduction. So if I can get some Graham love in the chat for... Let's see who wants to go first.
Hi, I'm Mare. I'm playing River, your Artalock today. That's all I got. Anything else?
Let's see. Who are ya? Usually I ask a trivia question about your characters. I'll go easy on you all, because I'm a kind and benevolent person. So who are ya? Who you're playing? And
yeah, I'm Mare, and I'm playing River today. Your lovely Artalock.
That brings us to the one, the only Khan.
Hello, everyone. I'm Confounded. I'm playing Golinus Laranodal, your resident rogue. Still in all the hearts and all the other things. And the teeth. Watch your teeth. Especially if they're gold.
I'm Jen. I'm playing Maggie, the Furball Druid Beekeeper.
Hello, I'm Bob. I'm playing Beldis, the Dwarven Bard, who's finally going home. Fun Graham facts. Graham bathes his beard every day in a careful mixed bastion of honeydew, sweet oats, and orphan tears.
Sounds about right.
But like tears of joy.
Oh, yes. Happy tears. Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
And that leaves me. Hello, everyone. I am Adam. I am playing Rue, your cleric halfling of the Twilight domain. And I kind of forgot what else we were supposed to say, so there's that.
All right. Well, where last we left off, our wonderful party had been in the Temple of Kavath. Who would like to do the recap, or are you all jointly doing a recap? Or am I doing a recap?
Joint recap.
That's my vote.
Right. So there we were, right? We just made our way in across the Bona Plain, being chased with this giant purple cloud of doom and death and destruction. Intense. Well, we got here, we end up meeting up the Leomen. Now, the Leomen are a fantastic species, real dangerous. Twinkle in their eyes means they're about ready to pounce. Or not. Hard to say. Depends on their mood. While we were here, we ended up finding out a couple key things. One, our caravan did not have the flags we needed for safety to get across the plains. Two, there's multiple different clan of Leomen living in the same area, and they have this nice, it's actually kind of quaint and cute how they get along together. Three, they have bees. Cool bees. Awesome bees. The best bees. Second best bees. Third best? Second best. Okay. Those are important things. Being that we were the adventurers traveling over the plains and getting stuck here like all things happen, we were just coincidentally asked to help out with a few tasks by somebody Storm Roar? Doesn't matter.
Tathatin.
Ooh, Tathatin. I like that name. Stick with that. It's canon. Tathatin had a simple question for us to take care of. Whether or not somebody by the name of Ninos, who has this fancy gold tooth, was up to no good. We agreed to take the gold tooth.
Spoiler alert, he was up to no good.
Good coincidence on our part there. In fact, he was up to the kind of no good that kind of leads to an almost outright civil war. It's hard to really see, there was a lot of internal politics going on here. We were just along for the ride. We got in the middle of it. It was intense. How intense? Well, let me tell you how intense it was by having Ro fill in the next part.
Yeah, there was a mirror that led to another dimension where there was a bunch of zombie Leonins, I think. I believe Rue did not see. Oh yeah, yes, Knowles. See, Maggie saw, but Rue did not. We shattered that mirror, and then I'm just everybody go with broad strokes. So I'm just gonna go to the thing. We purified a dagger. We had a funeral for quite a few special people, and now we're on the way to the Crystal Caverns.
And Galaneth stole the golden tube.
That's important.
I got tacos and had a chit chat.
Very important.
Yeah, that is all important stuff. You can all go with 1d6 to be added to one of your rolls. You lose it at the end of the night if you don't use it.
Use it or lose it.
Bot, that's a rowboat. So boat rowing, rowboat, bot, robot. Oh gosh, that's a tongue twister. So, I think we should pick up right where we left off, which was you were all in the Temple of Nabanian. This almost like a Greek layout of those old Doric columns that kind of ring around the side, and it has this elevated steeple high rise of a ceiling that had the constellations kind of emblazoned on the ceiling itself that was kind of magically moving in correspondence to the natural order of the seasons. And when you had kind of brought out this corrupted dagger, the ritual kind of began to funnel that light that shone from the three suns of Anarion onto this bowl of kind of holy water. And Sasindra Starmoon, the high priestess, worked with you to push this dagger into this holy liquid and kind of dispel whatever enchantment had perverted its natural cause. And I believe we had just left off with her kind of stumbling back, grabbing like a singed paw, as the dagger itself seemed to have a will of its own and was kind of inflicting harm upon the wielder. And I believe, Rue, you had just used a healing spell.
Yes, I believe so. Or I can pop one. I'll pop cure wounds on her and like grab her paw.
Thank you. You feel the healing magic kind of surge out as the sinew and scorched fur begins. Uh-oh. What? Whoa.
Oops. Lost
Con.
Con!
Oh.
Well, sorry about that, everyone. We'll be right back after these short messages.
Ba-da-ba-da-da-dun-dun-dun.
Hey everybody, we are back. We have fought the goblins off, and we will be fully... Oh gosh, too much soda. We will be fully back to all of our casts shortly, but we want to continue the scenes and hang out with all of you because, you know, I just like you all to look at my pretty face. So, Sasindra kind of stands up, Rue, from the magic that you had funneled into her. She is still holding that purified dagger that the two of you plunged successfully into the cistern? Is that? I think that's the proper term. And she holds it out almost reverently as she eyes all of you with a levy of wonderment. And she brings her gaze back down to the dagger itself. And there is a look of thoughtfulness, of silent deliberation, before she unfurls her paw, holding the dagger, and offers it to you.
Do we? I don't.
And nudge Rue forward to go grab it.
Rue, this seems like your thing, Rue.
Okay, yeah. I don't really need. You know what? I'm just gonna take it because this seems like the appropriate thing to do in this moment. Thank you. She'll kind of like awkwardly bow and like walk backwards with it.
No, thank you. There are not many of these artifacts left, and I am not certain if I had not had your help, if I could have restored this dagger to its purpose. You have all helped our people immensely. You have healed our wounded, aided us in our darkest hour, and you will need this dagger if you are to create more banners for your people to travel these lands.
You know, I think since these are super rare and you know it's part of your culture, I don't want to take it from your lands. I'm just gonna. She'll just like offer it back.
It's rude to refuse a gift.
Yep. You want to keep that?
Yeah. Well,
Give up the other one.
I think we might have a second dagger, right?
Yeah.
Yep, you have a
Yes.
still
You could
corrupted dagger.
We can give her the because this is how we help other people get through the area without getting killed by fog. So I think we have to keep it, Rue.
If you don't want to hold on to it, I'll hold on to it.
Yeah. You know, the only knife I have is this one. She like pulls out her butcher knife and like will hand the dagger over to River.
I look at it, admire its quality, and sheath it.
Would you like a quick description of the dagger?
It's pretty.
It is very pretty. It is a alabaster white blade with gold fringes of like lattice work along it with kind of like a carved, almost bone-like handle.
Is it just act as a regular dagger mechanically?
Mechanically, yes.
Okay.
The only difference is this dagger counts as a silver dagger. If
Okay.
you want to flavor that how you will, I figured it's non-magical, but it does have more effective properties against, you know, undead or lycanthropes.
Thank you very much.
Do we remember who has the other corrupted dagger in our group?
I think Golanath. Actually, I know for a fact it's Golanath.
It's Golanath. Do we want to just
Yeah,
assume
we will.
that Golanath
Yeah,
would be willing
yeah,
to give it over?
yeah. We'll touch base with Golanath and what they would have done after, and we'll just move on. So the rest of the day goes on fairly uneventfully. The city is still very much recovering from the battle, but it seems like it is almost like a push from the world is kind of shoving you forward. The city is resuming its normal actions. The people are kind of beginning their mundane ministrations of their everyday life, and most of the tavern of the Maiden's Willow and the caravan have started to get antsy. About the time you get back to the tavern, Bor and Brigitte she is kind of sat in a chair and still heavily bandaged from the sheer amount of wounds that she had accrued. But Bor announces that in 2 days' time, the caravan will be moving onward. Alright, so we will be right back. We're gonna pop off and get our rogue back, and we'll see you in a few seconds, friends. Look at that! Welcome back, everybody. We have our resident rogue once more with us. Yes, the goblins have returned their prisoner, and we are happy to have him back. Golanath, you were in the possession of that other corrupted dagger.
No, I wasn't.
You weren't. Was it
No, I
Karis?
was. I was, but it's a secret.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
Yeah, remember, no one really remembered it last time?
Yep. Because you stayed behind to loot the body and you didn't say anything about it.
Yep.
So, with the first dagger being purified, would you offer the second one up, or would you keep it the way it is?
I'm keeping it.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
Good, bold choice.
I love it.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Keeping
I
it.
guess Rue probably would have been less awkward now, me knowing as a player that she did not know of its existence.
Yeah. So, Cassandra hands the dagger over to you. You all return to the Maiden's Willow. In 2 days' time, the group from the caravan and what remains of it will be setting off to the Crystal Caverns. Is there anything you would like to do in the next 2 days within the city itself and the Temple of Kavath? You are issued access to the archives, which is the repository of all the information the Leonin people have saved through the generations, as well as where they store the mirror that they have in their possession that is currently not working, which Karis would have conveyed to all of you per her instructions. You all would have had your items that you have received identified. Is there anything any of you would like to do?
I need to go find a tailor or whatever.
Okay.
Because after having rushed our way in here, being chased by a giant cloud of death, realized we were being forced to deal with, a little civil upheaval and spending God knows how much time patching people up. And I'm a mess. I'm going to be home in a couple days. I need a clean outfit. So I need shopping. I need a shirt. I need at least a clean shirt.
Do we have anyone who can prestidigitate whatever prestidigitate
Prestidigitation.
that shirt? Anybody? I can't help you with that, but I know some people can.
There are way too many patches on it to be considered in good condition, no matter how
That's
much
bad.
we clean it.
Also,
Okay.
no.
Yeah. Karis has prestidigitation, but no one has mending, I don't think.
I have mending.
But you
Drew
also
has
did
both.
get burned, I think.
Mending also heals fizzle. That's why I have mending.
That's smart.
Oh.
That is smart. Roll me a perception check, Beldis.
Yeah, I got advantage on those. That's good, because one of those numbers sucked. 18.
18. You are easily able to find a tailor shop within the Ashpaw section of the Temple of Kavath. It is called Of Cinders and Fabrics.
Cinders and fabrics? Okay.
Yep. And there is a radiating heat coming from inside even before you have touched the door.
Oh, Lord. Why is the heat on? This makes no sense. I go in?
Sure. You
And-
enter into the Of Cinders and Fabrics, and you are greeted with a coal black Leonin with a large bushy tail that seems to almost like a cat when you've tossed them when they've been in the water and then they poof out when they've dried. Their tail is poofed out, probably more than is natural, and they have a bright gray furred face with their fur kind of curling into like a mustache out beyond their face, and they look at you. Oh, come in. What can I do for you?
Just let me admire that mustache for a moment. Truly, that is amazing.
Why, thank you. I have it grew on me as well.
Yes, that's a good one. Always a classic. I start stroking the two braids in my beard at this point right here, and I'm kind of get them to curl just a little bit because now it's competition.
Yeah. In response, they start like subtly curling their mustache with like some of their nails. That is some wonderful fur you have there as well. What can I get for you today? Here at Cinders and Fabrics.
Cinders may be the right name of the place because I would like to get this burned and possibly replaced with something that is this is a dish rag at this point. I don't know what else to describe it. I would like something that's a little higher class. Can we go to a hand towel at the very least?
I haven't quite worked with someone of your size before, but that's not a problem. Some cubs are your size, so that makes sense. So I suppose, how hot do you want this outfit to look?
Just to look, not to feel, because this is a little warmer than I'm expecting. The three suns do a great job of baking down on me, but for some reason, this room is incredibly humid. Not very. I'm going home. I'm going to see people I haven't seen in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 40 years or so. I don't need anything more than this gorgeous specimen of a dwarvish face right here to attract away from the attention. So I'm perfectly fine. Clean, basic, white, simple. effective.
Okay.
Eggshell.
Any effects you would like on the fabric, magical or otherwise?
Oh. I was not prepared for that kind of a question.
Well, might I suggest some?
Yes, please.
Okay, well, and he kind of gets up and almost like a predator, like a predatory animal begins to kind of circle around you. Almost like sizing up your body composition, like your wingspan, height, as they kind of stroke their chin. Now, yes, that could do nicely. No. But what about... Aha! I have just the thing. One moment, and they kind of move over to a cupboard that seems to be tucked into the back, and they kind of pull out, and it seems to be several arrays of fabric. And he begins to like pull out one, looks at it, and like tosses it onto the floor, pulls out another one at like a fervid pace, like just pulling out. Nope. Like they're looking for a very specific piece of fabric. And after about a minute, they pull out this black, almost ebony colored garb that, upon closer inspection, gives off almost a hint of trail of ash and smoke that kind of billows behind it like a cloak. Now, this could work, but you seem to be like the sort of individual that wants something a little bit brighter.
At certain times, absolutely. This does have some interesting... Oh, this has stage presence. I like this. This could... Can you just flick it quickly? I just want to see how it looks moving in the air a bit.
Oh, of course, and kind of whips it out. It is a simple tunic that looks like it would be closely fitted, almost like a button-up, almost like a mix of a tunic and a tuxedo. If I had to, show how gaudy
I've seen
it
a
is.
tuxedo. I know exactly. What this is.
And it seems like that wispy smoke is a semi-translucent fabric that's almost like a sheen. I think that's the word. Or like a wedding veil, like that kind of fabric. And it is a mixture of magic that gives it the appearance and illusion of being a trailing smoke, but is really just a very thin cloak that connects to the back on the shoulders.
Graham, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
How long is that cloak part of it? Is it like full length?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say it reaches probably to your ankles if you're wearing boots.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and try this on, and that cloak end seems a bit long. Is there any way we can get that tucked in a little bit shorter?
Oh, of course.
Say maybe up to like just mid back height.
Oh, not a problem. And they pull out a pair of like tailor's shears and kind of quickly and expertly hem the cloak.
Indeed. I like this. I know I came in here, I said simple, but now that we have this on here, I'm starting to feel this a little bit more.
Well, my other suggestion was going to be this button up that bursts into flame randomly.
No. Please nothing that bursts into flame randomly. That would
Are you quite sure? It makes the wearer immune to the fire. Unfortunately, I haven't mastered making everything else immune to the fire.
I like that. However, this smoker's tunic right now seems to fit very well. I come from north, the Crystal Caverns. Is there by chance any way we could get some kind of emblazoned gemstones put on these? Something that might be dazzling to look at?
Like rhinestones, perhaps?
Oh, I like that idea, yes.
Oh, of course. One moment, and kind of goes to the back, and he has like a series of brooches that look almost like they are meant to be more like tasseled onto clothing.
Tassels, that's an idea as well.
And he kind of pulls out 4 or 5 tassels that all have gems, like almost reminiscent of like the old guard of English badges that you'd get on like a soldier, and kind of looks at them. That could do. Alternatively, I could probably replace the buttons with gems.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Do you have any preference on color? I am rather limited, as there aren't many in the,
The good news is the bright side, haha, if you will, is that where I'm going, there will not be much light. So really, anything that catches any light will sparkle and look amazing in the darkness that I live in.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Random is perfect. Assortment, various colors, a rainbow. No, not a rainbow. A prism.
Alright, well, if you'd like to leave it with me, I can do that tonight. If you want to pick it up in the morning.
That sounds perfect.
Wonderful, that will be 2 gold.
2 gold, 2 gold, 2 gold. Oh, yes, that's right. I do have coins. Haha.
He will take the payment and get to work on that during the night. Before you leave, he will show you a quick display of like some topaz, some amber, some quartz, some various other, maybe flugolite. It's like my favorite gemstone name. But yeah, so he will show you a wide array of like what he has and what he will try to get as close to a prism as he can.
Everything but the flugolite looks fantastic.
Yeah. So they will do that over the night. Anyone else?
Excellent.
Is there anything you would like to do?
I want to follow up on the possibly making jewelry and making a buck.
Okay. So, and that was for Boar, I believe?
I don't remember which tribe leader it was.
Oh, no, that was for,
I think the one who wanted us to spy on...
yes, Tethaton Stormroar.
Yes.
Yes. So you can easily find Tethaton. Most of the guards are stationed near the tavern anyways, as you were all housed in his kind of district.
Mm-hmm.
Being one of the heroes that literally saved his life, you are escorted to his own house. It is like a 2-story kind of, not adobe, is adobe the word? But it's kind of that mud brick, baked by the sun buildings. And you're escorted into this wide entryway that's kind of carved into the building itself. And there's several seats and a chair and like a table and a few bookcases with scrolls kind of piled in, and one Leonin is sweeping. But as you're kind of escorted in, one of the guards just goes, Tethaton will be with you shortly. With everything that went on, there's a lot to do.
Yeah, he can take his time. It's fine.
Wonderful. You have free access to the building. If there's anything you need, simply holler.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
If you...
I'm just gonna quickly ask him if he still wants me to do... He mentioned possibly a commission. Just checking in on that.
Of course. And the guard kind of... eyes fizzle for a second.
Oof.
What manner of beast are you? And they kind of like lean down. And who's a good boy?
It's Fizzle. Fizzle's a good boy.
Fizzle.
I made him.
You
Isn't
made
he pretty?
this. Are there fizzles all over out there?
No. He's one of a kind.
You are very skilled.
I worked very hard and I learned from the best.
Well, it has been nice to meet you, Fizzle. And a pleasure to guide you here. I will seek my leave. And they move out of the building to kind of take a post out front. About 10 minutes pass, and Tethton walks in. No longer dressed in the heavy armor that they wore during the hunting expedition, but more of a stately garb, if you will, of kind of a auburn red. Ah, friend, welcome and well met. I hope the day fares you well. What can I do for you today?
I'm not going to take up much of your time, but back when we first got here, you maybe possibly mentioned a commission, and was wondering if you were still interested in pursuing that.
Oh, of course. I would be more than happy to commission you. I have heard that your group are leaving soon. Will you
That's
have
why I'm
time?
asking now.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, I would be more than happy to commission some of your work. It is not often that Outlanders come to the Temple of Kavath, so I would be remiss to not capitalize on it.
What are you looking for? If you supply the materials, I can just charge you for labor.
Oh, no, you have done far more for me and my people to just get charged labor. I will supply the materials, as well as, I believe they call it tipping.
I don't normally do tipping. Usually the rates are high enough where we don't. I respect my work enough to not have to rely on tipping. I price myself appropriately.
I meant no offense.
There's some shitty cities that do that, and I question them.
It does seem like an unwise practice. But, of course, one moment, and he will kind of motion for you to follow, and he escorts you down a hallway and down a subsequent hallway into kind of like a blacksmith forge that has been kind of, they've got like a kiln that has been formed out of sand that they must have gotten from the Plane of Bones and then kind of crafted into this. And they have kind of like an anvil, they have a forge, they've got everything you need blacksmithing wise, as well as several ingots already pre-made of silver, bronze, a few of like smaller ingots of gold.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you would like is yours to use as you wish.
What are you looking for? Do you want a necklace, rings? What's the size? What kind of design do you want?
You know, I've always wanted to pierce my ears.
Hoops, studs, or dangles, or one of those fancy things like the ear cuffs.
I suppose, we'll start with hoops for now.
Do you want to include gems?
Do you think it would look good? Tell me true, friend.
River, what's his fur color?
Tethton Stormroar is, like a brown. Like
Light or dark?
Lighter brown kind of fur, with, I believe they have, speckled white towards, like, their throat and center of their face.
I'll just lean back and just look at him. I would suggest gold, or at least gold plated. And if you wanted to do gems, something that would pop. So anything bright, maybe a red or a light blue.
I will see what I can get for you.
It's what you can get for you.
He nods concedingly. Fair. Also, I did come across something that I thought might interest you and your companions. And he moves over to one of the nearby, like, schematic holders. It looks like a lattice work of different blueprints, and he kind of drags a claw like up and down and then stops and pulls out one.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of unfurls it on like a nearby table and beckons for you to look over.
As soon as I realize it's schematics, beeline.
Great. Roll me a flat intelligence check.
I can do that.
You can add your proficiency to it because
Okay.
you are an artificer.
Cool. That is a... Okay, cool. That is a natural 20.
Nat 20. So, what you are looking at is some sort of primitive mixture of primal magic with almost like golem making and crafting of like almost like constructs like Fizzle or like what the Bronze Bastion have with Warforged. This is a mixture of the natural resources of the earth, and it looks like they took mud or clay that was baked in the sun and molded it via magic to create hawks.
Hawk says in a bird?
Yeah,
Okay.
that were entirely constructs. There are detailed descriptions of various metals that were used to be molded onto these constructs to give them a more permanent form, as the natural magics that created the base weren't permanent.
It's clay.
So basically what they did is they grabbed the magic, housed it in a basic material, and then built like the encasement to keep it contained once that natural barrier kind of fell.
Well, well, well. This is something very interesting.
Is it? I have no knowledge of these things. Much has been lost.
I don't think I can make any of these things yet, but you see my good boy right there? Similar to that, but a little more dirty with mud. And a bird.
Well, I had one of my clanmates copy this over for you, and he will roll this up and hand it to you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. It'll be a nice little experiment to do once I have a more permanent area of operation.
That is entirely understandable. I only ask one favor of you. If you are able to do this, would you mind coming back here one day to teach those who have forgotten how to do it?
If I'm in the area and I haven't died, yeah, why not?
I appreciate that. The forge is yours. Holler if you need me. I have issues to address within the city, as well as within my own clan.
Wait, 1 second.
Of course.
I'll take out my all-purpose tool,
Mm-hmm.
my magic item for artificers, and I just kind of like tap it on my hand, and it turns into like, I don't remember what they're called, but they're like the rulers that are like this, like that.
Oh,
I kind of I hold it up to his ears and measure his ears.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if it's inches or how they would do it, but
It's in metric.
It's in metric?
It's in metric.
Okay. It is about 9 centimeters.
That's fine. I just need a rough.
No worries.
And then-
Yeah, you are easily able to get that.
And then before he even leaves the room, I head over to the forging area and I start sketching in chalk, like on the anvil and the wood, and do sketches of what might look good.
Tethodon will leave you to your work, coming in to bring refreshments depending on how long you're there. Like some fruit, some water, some honey and bread.
Some oil for.
Yeah, some oil for Fizzle. Gotta keep the good boy happy. But yeah, if provided how long you're gonna stay, they will keep you fed. They'll even bring a cot if you're one of those workers that's like, I'm
Oh, I
not
don't
leaving
leave.
until this is done.
I don't leave.
Okay, so they will bring like a small cot into the forge itself for you to take some power naps,
Hell yeah.
if you will. Rue, Golaneth, Maggie, anything you would like to do over the 2 days?
I have a couple things.
Okay.
I think Maggie sort of ended that difficult day with a lot of self-doubt and feeling very sort of uncomfortable in her own skin. So she's going to go to her comfort zone and spend most of those 2 days around the apiary, hanging out with the person with the best name ever, Honeydew Sweet Paw. And I think mostly she's going to spend her time seeing if she can coax some of the worker bees to come with her to the Crystal Caverns, sort of a bee exchange program, and probably ask the queen for permission. That's probably where she would approach that.
Okay. Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay.
I will say at advantage because you do have one particular bee who will speak out for you, Phoebe.
Yes, Phoebe. That's a 10.
10. The queen agrees that you may take 5 workers.
Okay.
That will volunteer to come with you. And, you know, I don't have names for them all, but I'm sure Maggie would want their names.
Of course. Of
So,
course. We can come up with them over time if you want.
Yeah. That'll give me some time to work on some bee names.
Is Phoebe one of them?
You know what? Yes.
Heck yeah.
And
Okay.
maybe Bumble.
And Bumble, yes. Phoebe, Bumble. Okay. We can work out the rest of them.
Yeah.
I love that they're named. And then I think there's just a little bit of just kind of going over the investigation that she did before to make sure she's not missing anything, that the bees all are from here, that there aren't any bees from elsewhere that she might recognize, and also probably around when she's not in the apiary, asking from any kind of medics or medical people if there have been any problems with like fur loss, mange, wasting away kind of illnesses, anything mysterious.
Man, we're getting some good ones in the chat. Belle Beazle, Beatrice, Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh my god.
But yeah, you are able to give a look. Asking around, roll me an investigation check.
I'd like to add the D6 to this one, I
Sure.
think. Sorry. This is of primary importance. Natural 20.
Wow.
So that will make me a 22 with
22.
the D6 and investigation.
Would you like to add your inspiration?
Yeah.
Roll me that 1d6.
Yeah. That's 24.
24. Alright. You know, I feel like we need some music change for this. One moment.
I'm gonna laugh my butt off if the music change is like do, and then it's like you find nothing.
Sleuthing around, you begin your expert investigation, checking in with the highs and the lows of society over the next 2 days. Now I'm gonna turn up the volume a little bit because I love this song. You begin asking around the usual questions that I'm fairly certain you've asked in several towns. The typical symptoms. The fur loss, the mange, that hunger that can't seem to be sated. the irritability. You make your way from Ashba to Stormroar to even to the Starmains. Nothing tickles that itch until you see a familiar face. Barava, the Leanin Guard. She's standing, leaning against a wall, halberd rested beside her as she kind of has her visor down. She notices you approach far before you notice it's her, and she kind of tilts the visor up. Oh, hello there.
Hey.
So, word on the street is that you've been asking around some pretty odd questions. Eh?
I mean, probably odd to everyone else. Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to bother anyone or like be really personal or anything like that. They're just, questions that I they're important for me to ask. So, I mean, I don't mean to make you uncomfortable, but could I ask the same
Oh,
questions?
no worry, you can ask me anything. What can I do for you? What questions do you need to answer?
Well, do you know anyone who's having any weird trouble with their fur or feeling really sick after having problems with their fur or just like bad mood with fur lossy mangy stuff? And she'll unbutton her sleeve and like roll her sleeve up and show a patch of furlessness on her shoulder that's red and cracked, looks really painful, like this.
Barava's lips kind of purse as she kind of gives it a very deliberate thought. Well, ain't that peculiar? And do you mind if I look at it a little bit closer?
Don't touch though. We don't really know.
Of course.
Yeah.
She eyes it fairly close. Well, if I recall correctly, one of the guards that came back on patrol that was with what's his name? Stormroar, starts with a V. They never take me on the excursions out of the town, out of the city, so... Vindred! If I recall correctly, one of the expeditionary forces that were sent to hunt the gnolls came back with something like this a few months ago.
From the gnolls? Do you know which one?
Well, no, but I know someone that could point you in the right direction.
Please, anyone that I can talk to.
Of course. Follow me. I'll show you the way. And Bravo will lead you across the city to a almost further into Starmain territory, and there is a kind of makeshift hospital. More like a apothecary, more than anything. And she stops by the door and points a claw towards the inside. Well, if you're looking for someone that knows ointments or would have seen someone like that, this is probably the first place you should look.
Thank you. What I showed you, I don't mind keeping that between you and me.
She doesn't even respond verbally, just gives a nod.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. And into the apothecary she goes and doesn't even really just looks at the first person who seems like they know what they're doing and goes right up to them and just, even if they're in the middle of something, hey, can I talk to you? I need to talk to you. Would you mind if I just take a minute of your time? Yeah.
It is a grade Leonin. Their fur has turn to the silver hue. Yes, yes, I don't mind answering any questions. Oh,
Right here. Name's Maggie. I heard that there might have been somebody with some problems with their fur, just some like mysterious or unusual mangy kind of symptoms a while back.
so not routine pattern baldness, but irregular baldness.
Yes, painful and associated with feeling hungry or grumpy, and then eventually sort of weakening and wasting away a little
The
bit.
elderly Leonin moves to a desk that's to the far side of the room and kind of pulls out like a ledger book, probably like how they track who comes in for what and what prescriptions that they offer, and they begin flickering through. One individual recently, a few months ago, suffered from this illness. It was unlike anything I've ever seen before. It started out with a patch around where they'd been bitten, and spread, and they rather wasted away, I dare say. Nothing we...
Wasted away to death, or...
Yes, it was very quick. Despite the food and water we fed them, nothing seemed to satiate them.
You said it was from a bite. What kind of bite?
Well, they said a knoll, but it's... with the jaws like that, it's not like any knoll I've ever seen. Not that I've seen many.
Did you happen to record in your notes what the bite looked like?
Yes, and they pull out, this dossier of what they have kind of marked down. Roll me a medicine check. I'll let you roll with advantage because this is something that you have been researching prior to even joining the caravan.
That is a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. So, you look at this bite. It is correlation, not causation. Your first look, this bite is in the area that was infected, but you suspect that something happened prior. Or that something was going on in the general area that simply hadn't taken physical effect first. You quickly begin to look at this, kind of like a drawing of the skin and like the jaw marks, and you notice one raised bump. It is almost a centimeter in radius in the patch of furlessness. Roll me a perception check.
I'm rolling hot. 26.
26. So, you aren't entirely sure if this is a response of the body, like when you have an allergy and you get hives, or when you get a bug bite and your body kind of has that raised skin. But a thought occurs to you. A few. What if something was embedded in? You've seen this in nature before. With hornets in particular. Though you are loath to admit that you spent time with hornets, some species of hornets lay their eggs in living species. This is probably not a scenario in which something laid eggs, but something could have embedded in there. Whether it was a foreign object, a creature, or something different altogether is uncertain. But that is a possible theory. The other possible theory is that this bump may have been from something biting first. Not something big, but something small. Insect size. Ahead of time, and that could have brought the illness.
And I've not seen a bump like that on any of the other things that I've.
This is something new,
This is
but
new.
the symptoms that are...
Same.
Yeah. So it is not impossible that these are either a previous version of what affected your family, or this is it being kind of evolutionized to a certain degree,
Right.
which is concerning.
Right. All right. I copy every single thing into my notebook and go to the apiary to think.
Before you leave, the elderly Leonin will move to the wall. There was one thing that did seem to almost help. We were struggling to find the right ingredients to fight the infection. But towards the end, albeit it was too late to save them, we concocted this ointment. It is a mix of mugwort, hydrangea, and rosewater.
All right.
We used this and it seemed to fight the infection. The temperature dropped to regular levels, and for a moment they seemed to not be ravenous in their hunger, at least for a little bit.
Do I know if any of those are used to treat poison?
Sure. This is just me knowing some botanical knowledge. Hydrangea the leaves are actually poisonous.
Gotcha.
Okay. Rosewater, nothing doing, usually just smells good.
Right.
As for mugwort can be used and distilled into a antioxidant, as well as it is not a antitoxin by itself, but it is used as a leavening agent with other herbs to fight poisons.
Gotcha. But hydrangea is actually poisonous. There's not an anti-poison in this.
Correct.
Got it.
So,
okay.
With your medicine check, I will give you this. If your theory that this is caused by something burrowing in or something like that, a poison, in theory, may have hampered whatever is going on.
Right.
Or killed some of
killing
what
an
was going on.
invader. Yeah. Killing an invader, not neutralizing a poison. Thank you. Can I maybe have some of this ointment just a little bit?
Oh, of course. One moment, and they will scoop you maybe like those Altoid tin-sized dollops, and they will hand that to you in like a small little dish.
All right. I'll take that. After spending a little bit of time sort of processing this and copying it, I am also going to write a letter to my wife detailing all of this and saying, like, finding someone and saying, like, if you pass anyone who can take this somewhere that it can be posted, please do that.
Of course, of course.
Thank you.
Now,
thank you.
Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, thank you. And like she shakes his hand like way too hard. Like, yeah, no, thank you. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. Okay. I'm off to the apiary she goes.
You were able to find refuge in the apiary for the next few hours. Goldeneth Rue, anything you two would like to do over the next 2 days?
Would like to find Boar.
All right. Boar is at the Maiden's Willow when you find them. It is evening. I'm assuming, you gave it a day. Now that Briggy is kind of, out of the danger zone, as they say.
How is Boar's demeanor? Is he seem to be a little bit chipper? And what about his little lady friend?
So Boar himself seems to be putting on a strong facade of, you know, that joviality that is typically around him. While there is some genuine good vibes and positive outlooks, you can tell that there is a lot of stress that has kind of fallen onto his shoulders in the aftermath of the battle. With his sister in the state she is at, a lot of her responsibilities with the caravan have kind of fallen onto him on top of their usual, you know, handling of the guards and the defense of the caravan. Plus, with the caravan moving out in 2 days, there's a lot of preparations that need to be done, such as rationing and the like.
I'm just going to ask for if there's anything I could do to help him out to make sure that we're ready to move out in 2 days. And I want to go further in asking if there's anything I could do for him. Basically, if he just needs somebody to talk to.
Yeah, you know, I think you find time to talk with Boar probably around the time, maybe not the time of last call of the Maiden's Willow, as Roswella kind of sets people to bed and, you know, rolls the drunk people into a room that she's conjured into the mansion. And it's just kind of you and Boar knocking back some whiskey. Boar pours you a drink, pours himself a drink, and, you know, you would have seen Malinik also doing okay. Malinik was just kind of seated at one of the tables, went upstairs about maybe half an hour earlier. So, like, what I've been thinking, right, is that when we go to, like, the Crystal Caverns, right, I think that we should, have extra arrows. What do you think about that?
It's always good to have extra arrows.
He's like,
extra swords, extra shields.
Yeah, I mean, if that big cloud or something comes at us, we'll just shoot arrows at it, right? Like, it's not gonna come at us.
Well, we've got the banners now, so it shouldn't, and if it does, we should be okay. But yeah, no, we definitely could shoot some arrows at it. Lots of arrows.
He leans in. Do you think if we shoot it with, like, arrows, it'll pop? I like to think that it's gonna make a popping sound. It'll go like...
I mean, if we hit it in the right spot, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big cloud, but it's a small target.
Yeah.
And
like,
big and small.
Yeah, it's big, like, big and small. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. So,
it is big and small. You know what else is big and small? The sapphire ring. How are you and Roswella doing?
Oh, well, she held my hand last night, I'll have you know, for like a solid 2 minutes.
Yeah? A solid 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So y'all are getting kind of serious, huh? Did you ever find that leather journal? Right? I know things have been tough, so...
Yeah, the leather journal you want us to find? Or you want me to find?
I tried to find one, but I couldn't find one. I still think it's a good idea for, you know, pressing the flowers, and I got to tell you, you know, if you can find love, you should.
Oh, if you don't want me asking, have you ever been in love?
No. One day, maybe.
Well, what's your type? I mean, I know some Goliaths are like, I want a man or a woman that looks like they're gonna kill me.
No. I don't know. I don't think I could. I don't think me and a Goliath would ever be. And I appreciate it, Boar. I'm flattered, but no. I mean, you and Roswella. No, it just wouldn't work. But the ring. I was going to give you the ring to give to Roswella. I wasn't trying to give you the ring from me to you. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, I'm glad you clarified. I was really confused if this was like a friend gift or like a gift.
No, I came across it and I was just like, you know, and then I was thinking the journal with the flowers, that was I tried to find one of those, and I thought that was the better. Here, here, and I just walk away embarrassed.
You take the ring. You see a look of just like confusion on Boar's face. Just like, was it something I said?
No, it's fine.
Oh well, have a good night. I hope you sleep well. I mean, I know elves don't really sleep, but I hope you do the thing.
I'll have a nap and a little meditation. I'm really glad. I'm really glad your sister's doing better. And I do know and I'm saying this all as I'm walking away. I've kind of turned around and stopped. And they just say, if you do need anything, don't hesitate to ask. As far as helping, like, get everything prepared to head out.
Yeah. Yeah. In the morning we can like go shopping for weapons or something.
We will go and acquire weapons. No shopping.
Oh, like acquiring
Night, Boar.
a night.
And, walk away.
Yeah. Rue, any scene you would like to do in the 2 days?
Yeah, I think on the first day, Rue would go to some arms dealer in town, and I guess with like 40 gold, try to buy as much of like any weapons. Like I know spears are cheap. Yakulawa is a cheap weapon. Just
Yep.
like a bunch of cheap weapons.
Okay.
Just try to buy a bunch of them and just distribute them throughout the town. Probably would start with like the area that got hit the hardest.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure if they were just like weaker warriors or they were just like underprepared or they were farmers or whatever the fuck was going on. She goes there and starts there and moves around distributing a bunch of weapons that she has purchased.
Okay. I think you find a arms dealer called Fur and Fang.
Fern Fang?
Fur and Fang, and
Fur and-
you are able to buy. Let's see. I think you can get probably a fair amount of spears, or halberds if you so wished.
I guess whatever like, the most bang for her gold would do.
Sure. Let's see. What is the price of a spear?
I think it's 1 gold.
Yep, it is 1 GP, so you can get 40 spears if you would like.
Yeah.
I think that is a reasonable thing. It's simple. They could subcontract if they needed to fasten some spearheads. And it's not like there wasn't just a battle the other day with a surplus of weapons that they may or may not have acquired. So yeah, if you would like to get 40 spears, they can make that doable. Or if you would like some variation.
I mean, if there's like some variation, maybe some like blades on them, she'll do that.
Sure. We'll flavor it as maybe not glaives, but some bardishes and stuff. Yeah.
And then just kind of go around handing them out to people who don't look like they have weapons. And then maybe giving like a quick tutorial, like if there's a blade on it, this is how you chop. This is how you stab. Power stance. Spread out. You dig in. You dig in if they're charging you.
Roll me just a flat D20.
Flat D20. Oh, that's not going to be great. Can I add my D6?
If you'd like.
I would love. Where is it? I feel like that is a 10 total.
10 total. So, you are able to teach the vast majority of people you kind of met up with, how to stab, how to slash, proper footwork, don't give, it is okay to backtrack, but you want to make sure that every step back is a deliberate step and not, backtracking because you're scared. And you even, I'll say you teach them one maneuver. And the maneuver I think you would probably teach them is how to circle up so they have like a crouching spear and then someone with a spear over in case, a larger creature kind of came in or like cavalry.
Yeah, Rue definitely has more experience with like the crouching position or
Yeah.
just like being in the lower ranks more. So it's like probably not as easy to teach because she's like, you're just too just you crouch down. Do you not know? What do you do?
Yeah. So yeah, you are able to get, some of them to kind of form like two lines where they can have spear coverage and make a spear wall.
And then yeah, that would be.
They're not quick about it, but they can do it.
I mean, this district got ravaged, so she knew what she was working with when she went in there. And then day 2, I think she'd bust out kind of like all her big spells and just make a massive like 120-pound feast for whoever is interested, and like I think that's like 90 gallons of water as well, and just like have a feast that we were supposed to have earlier, or we'd planned on having, and just like do that before, like the night before we left.
Okay. So the night before all of you are going to move out, you summon this feast. What type of foods do you think would be at the feast?
So with create food and water, it's not like specific on like what it
Yeah.
is. It says the
Because
food is bland.
Yeah, it's bland, but it can appear like anything.
Yeah, I would probably, since it's majority leanin, I would make it look like a bunch of meats, and then she would use a lot of like the salt that we got, some of her spices, and tons of prestidigitation just to like flavor up all this food. And then yeah, a lot of it would look like meats, but then there would be like a huge veggie section because I'm sure there are some people who don't eat meat there, and yeah, it would just maybe look like a kind of turkey, or not Thanksgiving feast, but not turkey, but like deer, venison.
Sure. Yeah, so you kind of set this up for, I'm assuming for anybody?
Yeah, it would be like in our wherever we set up the camp for the caravan, but
Yep.
like it would be open to everyone. And like the day before, as she's passing out weapons, she'd be like, "Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna have a big feast, so come on down. As long provided you don't stab yourself today. Well, if you do, I can heal you up, but that's fine. Just come on down."
So you get a pretty big crowd that kind of shows up. It is not just caravan people. With this feast, you are actually the first one to be made aware. Some lean-in are actually coming with the caravan. And you see a familiar face. You see Barad sitting at the feast. He is wearing a pack with kind of like a single scimitar that he must have picked up during the battle, strapped to it, dressed in the same outfit that you all have met him in, and he's just kind of silently sitting on the edge of the feast, not really talking to anybody, but seems to be, it's like that new kid at the high school atmosphere, where they don't really know anybody, and
I think she would go up to Brad and say, "Hey, you heading out of town?"
Yes, I don't think there's anything here for me anymore. Maybe seeing a little bit of what's out there might help.
I mean, yeah, getting exposing yourself to new experiences never really hurt anyone, until it does. But let's not focus on that bit. But seeing new things is great. And I know I know a few of us spoke on your behalf, but we don't really throw around the. I don't think we use the same verbiage or whatnot. But if you want to join our group, you always have a home with us.
That is very kind of you. I will need some time to think about it, but I appreciate it. I will carry my own weight.
Well, I hope I can't carry you. You're a big guy. Look at you.
Yes, I am pretty large. That is true. But tell me, where are you from?
That is a great. the I am from the Crimson
Even.
Haven. Is sometimes when you're away from home, it just gets foggy. But yes, I am from the Crimson Haven.
What where is that? I
Sin, I mean, it's like a very. It sounds a lot creepier than it is. It's from a region known as the Desolation of Zilika.
Yeah, the desolation of Zalakir. Is it nice there?
For some, yeah, it can be. It can be. You know, if you got nothing to lose, it's a good spot.
Ah, I see. I have never heard of this Crimson Heaven.
Yeah, we can go with that. Hey, yeah.
Perhaps one day I will see it.
You know, maybe not make that your first stop. There's other places. I think we're going to the Crystal Caves, which I've never been, but it sounds pretty amazing. So you should come with us for that.
Are there more people like all of you there? Or are they like the Loxodon? Or the Centaurs? Or the Tabaxi?
Yes. You know what? You see this big, and it looks like there's just like a huge rack of lambs. She's like, I'm gonna give you this. You know what? I'm not gonna give you this. I'm gonna stand here and watch you. And she pulls out her cleaver. It's like, you carve this up, and I feel like you're just gonna do really great with it. It's gonna look friggin' artsy, and people are gonna be just drawn to you afterwards because you've done such a good job. And she's gonna cast guidance on him and
1d4?
hand him the cleaver.
All right,
Is it what do you? Yeah, yeah.
17 plus 4 for a 21. So just like the story of the Grinch, Barad carves the roast beast and is a instant star. By the end of the night, and maybe a few mulled ciders, you see a little bit of life breathed back into the Leonin.
Yeah. Being very proud of this moment, she will, make a point to get her knife back, and then pop a little good berry and walk on her merry way.
All right. So, the second day arrives and the caravan has been packed up and ready to go. The Maiden's Willow is once more, the door to the magnificent mansion is loaded onto the carriage. The wagons are prepped and ready to go. Boar at the lead. His sister is still kind of recuperating and is kind of in one of the wagons that some of the other caravaneers are kind of directing. The Leonin elders all come to see you off. And
Can I describe the earrings I made?
oh, of course.
Hell yeah.
Paint me a word picture.
The earrings I made are a base of gold, but mixed gold, because if you use solid gold is actually extremely soft. Do not. And they are a hoop earring. And in the center of each one, but not dangling, there's a set of 3 stones, a light blue one, a red one, and a green one on each side.
So Tethaton is rocking that earring.
Oh, it's a pair.
Ooh.
It's a pair.
Yeah, both of them. I actually think they only got their left ear pierced.
Oh, okay. I made a pair, but if you,
I mean, I don't know if he understands the
friend.
concept.
Give it to a friend.
Could be 2 piercings on the left ear, which would look pretty friggin' awesome.
Oh, that's true.
Whatever he wants to do. If he wants to give it to someone as like a gift.
Maybe when they meet that special someone.
Matching earrings.
That would be a dope custom. But, so, all of the elders kind of have formed to watch you go. Minus, Ninyosk, who's dead. So, you get
Minus
5 out of 6.
dead elders.
Yeah. And each one of them is holding a item that is covered in cloth. Tethaton has 2. And one by one, Tethaton strides up to Rue and not lowers down like in a demeaning way, but more of like a way to like reach you and not be peering down, and to hand this so you don't have to reach up, and provides you a mace. It is finely made, to say the least. It's this pronged, kind of like 4-pronged mace head that's like flanged, I believe is the term, and each flang is made out of that same white alabaster material, emblazoned with gold filigree. However, in the center of all the flangs, there's like a spike that is made out of this red stone that it looks like it has been carved into almost a blade. This is a +1 mace.
Sexy.
And he hands it to you. You showed great bravery in the fight. And even greater bravery in the moments when all was lost. For that, we, on behalf of Clan Stormroar and all of the Temple of Kavath, thank you. He turns to River and walks up to River and pulls out a small, looks like a jewelry box that has been kind of draped under this cloth. And he opens it. It is a golden jeweled scarab that is inner at the moment. And he hands it to you and leans over and whispers a word in Leonin. You do not understand the meaning of the word, but you understand that as someone who is experienced in constructs, this is the trigger word to use this item and to deactivate it. This is the Scarab of Intelligence. When you speak the word, it will animate and can be used to scout, almost like a familiar that you can see through its eyes. It has dark vision and tremor sense up to 10 feet. 10 HP and an AC of 12. It may be activated once a day for up to 12 hours, and then cannot be activated until the following day at dawn. There is one caveat that they will not tell you not because they don't want to, but because they don't know it. But I will cover that with you out of game later once it's been identified.
Okay. I'll just nod.
Beldis, you have by this point you have gotten your tailored shirt and your little smoke cloak. See what I did
Oh yeah,
there?
I'm wearing this. I'm wearing this horribly Elvis-inspired outfit right now.
You see. Let's see. Uh, Vadra Ashpa walks over to you, and she leans down a little bit. Well, I am not usually one who would give out gifts, but you have more than earned it, Short Fur. And
Like that.
she pulls back this dark satin material, and in her hands is a sword. It looks to be made of solid stone.
Okay.
However, as soon as she hands it over to you and your hand brushes it, the stone itself seems to fold and meld into the blade, and it transforms into this almost silvered long hilt. And tell me, do you prefer rapiers, long swords, or short swords?
That is an excellent question that I've definitely thought about before this moment, and that's why I prefer rapiers.
The blade takes this kind of almost like liquid mercury. How it is not a solid stance, and the blade shifts according to your desires to form a rapier blade. Functions as a +1 longsword, short sword, or rapier. You may change it at will once per day. The damage will always be 1d8
Okay.
rather than 1d6. So even if it is in a short sword form, it will do 1d8 instead of 1d6. It is called the Mercurial Blade.
Ah.
Question.
Yes.
Do we hear her call Beldish short fur?
Yeah.
Yes.
And she takes a step back. Sasindra steps up next and moves over towards Maggie.
Maggie has been drifting to the back of the group while this has been happening. So there's like a really awkward pause of like, oh, that. Okay.
And she offers you a quick kind of like nod, and she says, "Thank you for all your help, both of purifying the dagger, but the help you also aided not only during the battle, but afterwards. Even the smallest of deeds that are good hold equal weight to the largest of deeds." And she pulls out a amulet. It is this golden chain, and in the center of it is this golden amulet with a sun. Much like the symbols you saw in the temple, it does have a sigil of Nabanian, but that kind of shifts. Not necessarily an iconography? That's the word.
Yeah.
Of that religion, but just of her imbuing this with some magic. This is a amulet of health. While wearing it, your constitution score is 19 while you wear the amulet. It has no effect on you if your constitution is already 19 or higher.
I think there's this sort of very conflicted look on Maggie's face, and she's about to say something, and then she just thank you, thank you so much. And she like looks down and walks to the back of the group again.
She offers you a nod, and then takes a step back. Rialan Sunfur goes over to Karis and hands her a small wand. It looks like hickory, but it is gnarled and almost like something shredded and splintered it. Or it might be designed that way. And they hand it to her with some reverence and take a step back. Last but not least, Riolin then turns their gaze to Golnath and moves over to you. The last item they pull out is a cloak. It is a cloak that seems to be made almost out of a fur of a creature you have never seen. It bristles and shifts as the furs touch your hands as you kind of take this into your palms. This is a cloak of camouflage. It will match the backdrop of wherever you are at will for up to 30 minutes. It will give you advantage on stealth rolls during those 30 minutes. However, once used, it will not have any charges until the next day at dawn, when it will recharge. There is one other benefit to this. During those 30 minutes, if you are hit with a ranged projectile, you may subtract 1d4 damage from the roll, up to 3 times per day.
I just look at her and just give her a gratuitous nod.
He takes a step back, and then all 6 in unison begin to speak. We wish you safe travels in your journeys beyond our lands. We will forever remember you, and you will forever have a spot among us, and among any of the clans. Where Nobanian's light shines, you shall have allies, even in the darkest of nights. For as far as our roars ring, we will find you in your time of need. And they kind of take a step back. You see about 3 or 4 Leonin have kind of joined your caravan and are leaving the city. Whether they're sticking with your caravan for their own reasons or what have you, Barad definitely makes it clear they're with the caravan. They're going to stick with all of you, at least for now. And the caravan sets off, and I think that's where we're going to take a break. So we will be back in about, let's say, 10 minutes? 5 minutes? 8 minutes? 10 minutes. We'll be back in 10 minutes. That's 9:27. I'm a dirty liar, but don't trust me. But we will try our best to be back then. So get some water. Let's try out some of our Nightbot commands. Nightbot! So drink some water, stretch, and give yourself some love. We'll be back in 10. Till then, we will see you shortly. And we're back, even though I am a dirty liar who who once again lied and betrayed all of your expectations. But at least we're on brand. So, without further ado, let's get some music going. Okay. Chat, can you hear the music fine? Dance break is over. Alright. The next few weeks, the caravan travels towards the Crystal Caverns and towards the western side of the Plain of the Bones. The banners keep the enemies at bay, whether they are gnolls, whether they are vampiric mists, or giant crimson.
Question.
What?
Is the giant vampiric mist visible nearby or anything?
It is not nearby.
I was about to say, go Thor's just rifling arrows at
Just,
them.
just, why won't you pop? No. Whether it's the banners or whether it is some other result of your actions, or even that you may have stopped a harbinger of it, you don't know anything. But it does not show its ugly crimson mug anywhere around. As you begin to leave the plains, the wind-swept grass of golden that reaches your shoulders gives way to green, as rolling fields of flowers, grass, and the occasional tree begins to show. Towers of stone and mortar dot your vision, leading you home to the Crystal Caverns. Dwarven outposts and traders begin to become more and more visible as your caravan eventually finds the road, settling onto cobblestone bricks down the well-worn path to the caverns. A few days pass uneventfully as you reach the edge of the outskirts of the Crystal Caverns. 3 wide mountain ranges, forming almost an arrowhead, separate, reaching up almost as high as the clouds, and reaching far below the earth into the underground. A jut of crystalline eruptions, we'll say, dot some of the mountains. These massive crystalline structures of a myriad of colors, ranging from prismarine to aquamarine to ruby to sapphire, burst from these mountains as if the mountains are a water balloon that couldn't contain a liquid and was squeezed. A wide... Have a good night, Rihanna, somewhere. Thank you for stopping in. A large entrance to the main mountain rests in your way. Even from far off, you see the massive gates. They are carved into these crystalline structures, reaching 5 stories, with parapets carved into the various structures, into the walls and the mountains themselves. There are defenses that seem to be overly primed, as if they haven't gotten over what dragons can do, to say the least. A little bit of overcompensation, to some. Probably people that haven't fought dragons. But Beldis...
Any of this look new?
Does any of this look new? Yes.
Okay.
The newest additions are actually something that you thought would never happen. As you are headed towards the gates, you find a small surface town in your way, resting on a crossroads of the outside the city proper. It is constructed of about 30 buildings made of thatch and wood. And you see something peculiar to you, Beldis. You see goblins and dwarves and humans all living their lives in the shadow of the entrance of your homeland. They seem to be mostly a trade post, from what you gather. They have these large wooden platforms that seem to display the commodities that have arrived from distant lands. You see, as you're kind of walking in, just for all of you, as you kind of enter in, you see a goblin holding a human's hand as they are walking. The goblin looks to be no more than 4 years old, and the human is walking them. The goblin kind of has like a bag of candy in one hand, and the other one is holding this human's hand as they walk and point at some of the commodities for sale. The caravan comes to a stop, having reached its destination. It is a time for farewells and a time for new beginnings. While the caravan may go on, as it did when all of you joined, every journey is never quite the same, as you say goodbye to familiar faces and say hello to new ones. And this is no different. The caravan wagons have saddled up and have kind of circled, and the horses are getting watered. You are free to do as you wish.
I don't know who's near me, but I have one thing to say. The stupid outfit I purchased back there is the worst idea I've ever made. I am not going in there wearing this thing.
I think it looks great.
It has its moments, but I just feel, no, God, no, this is wrong. This is so wrong.
I mean, whatever you say, but I really do think it looks great, and I love that you had the confidence to get it and to, I'm not telling you what to wear, though. I don't need to tell you what to wear.
I have the confidence to wear it and the intelligence not to. So we're going to, and I'm just going to change, and I'm going to just put back on my ratty old shirt.
So are you saying that you didn't have the tailor burn it as you asked?
So I'm going to have to go look for a new ratty old shirt. And I will just buy something off of any vendor stand that takes, it's just, hey, does this fit? Perfect. Thank you. Bam. That is exactly the extent I'm going for. On this.
I'm assuming you're going bottom of the barrel for this?
I am, yes.
20 copper.
Perfect.
Yeah, you can get this ratty brown regular tunic.
Absolutely
It smells like maybe it's been sitting out for a little bit.
Fantastic. I
It
feel
was
better.
definitely some drunk like threw it off, and then someone picked it up and put it in the barrel.
Absolutely.
There's some stains.
There's like a flea on it.
Yeah.
It's got that good worn end thing. You see that nowadays. If you go to the high end places, they got like that adventure torn accessories or whatever else. Now this feels that authentic kind. I like it.
I'm pretty
Adventure
sure that's
tour.
vomit on the front of the shirt.
Distressed.
I'm pretty sure you're right. We're gonna have to just take some water and wipe that clean quick.
I mean, they are watering the horses.
Well, you know what? That'll work.
Well, Rue could just hit you with some prestidigitation. Be like, so this is your home, huh? It's a lot different than the old Bone Zone where we just came from.
This, I don't know what this is. This is cool. Home's in there. I just point towards the mountain.
Oh.
This is new. This is interesting. Things must be going well.
So what's the policy on taking crystals from the crystal caverns?
What's the policy on take? Okay, now the question is, did you get caught doing so? And
Will I
then,
get in trouble if I get caught?
I mean, depends. Maybe, possibly. If there's a sign that says "Do not take crystals," I would not take the crystals. If there isn't a sign that says "Do not take the crystals," then plausible deniability on your part. I mean,
Well,
punishments can be
read.
severe, though. I mean, you could easily end up losing a hand, having your ear taken off. They might force you on stage to do karaoke for 7 hours one night. It's hard
Okay,
to
that
say.
last one is really bad, but I can make prosthetics, so I'm fine with the others.
Oh, okay. Well, then now we know how to punish you, and that's what really mattered in this conversation.
You gotta find me first.
Well,
I can just go in my little bottle, and you can't get me out.
Noted.
are the signs in Dwarvish? Because I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I don't speak Dwarvish or read
No,
it. Or...
I do not speak Dwarvish.
If you see a sign that you can't understand, assume it says "Do not take the crystals."
I don't think they want you to take the crystals, I think is the point.
Noted, but I'm probably gonna ignore that.
That's fine.
From
I
now
honestly have no idea what they do with what the policy is.
Beldis, would you like to roll me a history check?
Absolutely.
Oh.
I have that skill, right?
Oh no, Nightbot! Don't blacklist Troke.
Was it too many capital
No,
letters?
I think they used Nike.
Oh no!
Oh no, how do I unban
Oh wow.
or unblacklist? Is it untime out? Is that it?
Yeah, probably.
Well, there I see a drug
They were on a
post.
cooldown.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're fine.
Darn it, Nightbot! Sorry, what was that, Beldis?
Oh, that was like 25 total.
25. So, on the subject of crystals and acquiring them, you can purchase them. For those who want to take matters into their own hands, you can also purchase from several of the mining guilds that own different parts of the Underdark and of the mining veins. You can purchase rights for a specific duration or a specific area to access and mine yourself as long as you pay a percentage of what you get upon completion. You would know this having been here. In 50 years, the laws haven't changed.
Well, maybe.
They're dwarves.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're dwarves.
They're stubborn. They're as stubborn as stone, and they smell like it.
Good thing stone smells fantastic.
There are worse things to smell like.
There are
vomit on a
worse things
shirt.
to smell
like this tunic. Ugh.
Now I'm imagining like a perfume that's called Stubborn by dwarves.
Oh,
Oh, it exists. It's canon now.
it's canon. We're gonna have to have that. Rue, you asked a question about signs.
Oh yeah,
There is a sign that you can spot nearby. It is in Common, Goblin, Dwarvish, Elvish, and Orcish.
I guess
The name of the hamlet, it just says Haven.
The havens in common.
Yes.
Okay.
And then like a direction towards that massive gate in the distance says Crystal Caverns.
Rue will point to the one sign in common and says, "Hey, so this one says Haven, but all these other ones I can't read. They say don't steal the crystals, according to Beldis."
Check the sign. Yep. Haven, don't steal the crystals. Don't steal the crystals.
I'm still gonna get my hand on some crystals. It's fine.
Well, your name's not Haven, so this sign clearly does not apply to you.
My name could be Haven.
Is your name Haven?
Not right now.
Then right now that sign does not apply to you.
Sounds good.
Okay. Is River's name Haven? Ask anybody.
I just
don't
say
think so.
no.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Is there something particularly special about the crystals, or is it just sort of a cultural thing? I mean, not just cultural things matter, but is it only a cultural thing?
Oh, I mean, there is so much history to them, but I mean, what really drives individuals for the crystals is, without question, their ability to harness the magical auras that surround us all, and to take those auras and to turn them into, over time, and with the right application, you can turn that aura energy into a fine powder that'll just build up over time on it. And with that, you can influence certain creations and augment other abilities. You are all free to roll a insight check.
I was just gonna ask.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Rue just starts walking towards Haven.
That is a 14.
Oh, I love my dice at times. That was a natural 20 in my
9.
deception check. So 24 total.
I think Maggie sort of mutters like, "So odd to just leave that all lying around.
Yeah.
You can do something.
You see
with
why
that."
I want them? So I
No,
can use
that
them in
makes sense.
projects.
Yeah, I would
Also,
just
they
think
look
you
cool.
should place a guard or just sweep them up and put them in a box. I don't. That's.
Well, there's checks, routine checks, as everyone walks around there. Somebody will usually come by and say, "Show me your stones," and they just want to make sure you don't have any crystals with you.
That
Show
means something
me-
else where I come from.
Well, I mean, translations different. I mean, we say "show you your stone" in Dwarvish. It sounds more like "Akala," So I mean, it comes across differently. It loses something in translation elsewhere.
I believe you. So if someone says that to me, I'll just empty my pockets.
Perfect, absolutely. That was
Yeah.
Oof Ungala. Okay.
I'm gonna follow Rue. And I'm just gonna follow Rue.
So Rue, you're
Fizzle
just
in
heading
tow.
into Haven.
Yeah, I want to see what I can get my hands on.
Yeah, Rue's had a lot of like late night selling foods in her cart or her old cart, and has stumbled across many of drunk people and people who just like start telling stories. And she's like, when Beldis did his, she's like, "This seems familiar. I'm just gonna go."
Yeah. Can both of you roll me a perception check, please?
I'm like determined to never roll a perception check.
You're gonna want to roll this one.
I have a -1. Do you want me to roll for Fizzle?
Yes, please.
Okay, I will also roll for Fizzle.
Given Fizzle might not interpret the information well. Bork bork.
Well, mine's 9,
Okay.
which is average 10 anyway. Average anyway.
Okay.
Fizzle is, where's his perception? Can't find it. $11.
11. Tell me,
Oh no, passive perception 16.
Okay.
Sorry.
you made Fizzle after you left the Crimson Haven, correct?
Yeah,
Okay. Everything is fine. There's nothing of note.
that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
There are a wide array of people walking around. You see some goblins are kind of, there's like an auction, like a spoken auction near that wooden platform. They're auctioning off some, let's see, what's a
Body.
good commodity? Some
I apologize.
perfume, some satin pillows from the Empire, and some armor and such from various portions of the land. They have a sword that has a hilt that seems to have been grown out of a tree root or a tree branch, and then the blade is just this jagged glass that seems to be embedded into it, that they say is from Tildwanon, claimed in the war. You see several spears, and there's even a cage that is of gold and brass, and inside that cage, it's like a bird cage, there is a hawk. Its feathers are golden, and its beak is this kind of lustrous amber, with two poignant eyes that show a little bit more intelligence than you would expect from your regular everyday eagle. Rue, you
I
would
see
notice
this all.
all this. And Rue, what was your perception check?
It was a 21. A Diet
20.
Soda +1.
Diet soda +1. So, Rue, as you're walking with River towards the center of Haven, you spot out of your corner of your eye, in passing, a rather uncommon individual, another Fearbolg. They are dressed in like a leather jerkin that seems to have been darkened and kind of covered in soot. They have a short sword and a dagger on their hips and a short bow and like a quiver on their back. And they seem to be talking to someone. They're a little ways off and they're kind of at the corner of a building, and whoever they're talking to is behind the building. You can't make out what they're saying.
I think. I mean, how common are like firbolgs in like cities and I guess the land in general?
I'll give this to you for free. You knew a few Firbolg that were in the Crimson Haven when you were living there. Some of them were notorious. Some of them were just people that happened to be stuck in the city by happenstance. Outside of the Crimson Haven, while uncommon, it's not super uncommon to encounter Firbolg in various communities. The Kingdom of Andalin has plenty. They even have Firbolg communities. So, this isn't anything out of the ordinary. This just happens to be the only Firbolg you have seen here. Outside of Maggie, of course.
I disappeared.
Yeah, I think Rue might use some of that halfling nimbleness to try to get closer and maybe listen in to what's going on.
Okay, roll me a... Are you trying to be stealthy, or are you just kind of walking up?
I guess how thick's the crowd? Because, I guess, yes, stealthy. Like, halflings can move within, like, medium-sized creatures,
Yeah.
so maybe it's just like...
Alright, are you letting River know, or are you just kind of going off on your own?
I think she'd be like, yeah, hey, I'm just gonna go check out this situation over here real quick. You don't... keep an eye out, I guess.
We'll keep an eye out.
Alright, roll me your stealth check.
I'm rolling these in roll 20. That's a 15.
15. Alright. You begin to kind of weave your way through the crowd, getting closer and closer to the Firbolg and whoever they are talking to. Stopping at a reasonable distance at which you can hear, but you aren't necessarily the first figure or the first thing that they would look at as you kind of idle a bit. What you hear is, Are you sure that the lead we had is correct? Why, yes. I had it on good authority that the caravan that they were part of is headed this way. Well, you know what happens if I find out you're a liar, right? Oh, I am well aware. Let me make it clear. I'll gut you. I'll carve ye up and hang you to dry. This is bigger than the two of us. The three of us, even. If you're lying, you're a dead man. And at that point, you kind of hear whoever they were talking to, which you aren't able to get a visual from, like, where you are. Seems you hear footsteps leading away and into the crowd.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there. All right. Rue is going to try to maybe suss out who this individual was that was walking away and follow them and send a sending to River and say, "Hey, maybe keep tabs on this this Fairbug. I think they were potentially talking about our group. They gotta go."
It was ascending, right?
Yes.
What Furbolg? I'm gonna look for
Shit.
crystals. If I see the others, I'll let them know. Especially Maggie? Question mark.
Question mark.
A couple questions. So I asked River to keep an eye out, and I'm assuming maybe they're.
I didn't see the Furbolg.
Yeah, you did not point out the Furbolg.
You didn't point out the Furbolg.
But I'm assuming River may have tracked where Rue went.
Nope.
And then if I,
With that passive perception, with a 15 stealth, there's no way River's seeing you.
River's perception is so bad.
River's like, wait, did I walk over here alone?
Like, if you didn't say anything, I would have not noticed.
Yeah, so there's...
Alright.
Like, as soon as you told me you were leaving, I walked off to go look at some shit in stalls and question their quality.
Okay, with the 21 perception check, were they near like a tavern, a bookstore, something that I could be like, hey, yeah, they're.
You know, here. They were
Was there
near
a loud crow, perhaps?
Okay, so they were near what looks to be a trade, like a general traders named Tidbits. That was what they were talking behind. They were like in the alleyway between Tidbits and another, probably a residential house, or maybe not an inn, but like a way. I think they're called way houses, or that's what they used to be called. Where they are basically like rented houses rather than a inn room.
Rue will send another sending to River, and it's like, damn it, River, this is what I've been telling you. You always got to keep your eyes open so you don't get hurt. The only Fairburg near Tidbits.
Did she make it?
Enough?
No, I didn't hear Tidbits. River, you should get a drink. Relax. I'll see you later. I'll still pass the message along.
Are you calling Rue River?
Sorry,
or are you talking to yourself?
I meant to say Rue. Are you gonna burn another smells?
No, I mean, I guess she could. Look.
Just for tidbits!
Remember, if you don't use them, you'll lose them. You can't bring your spells with you when you take a long rest.
Fuck. Alright, yeah, one more. Damn it, River, near the Tidbits! Fucking Tidbits! Titty bits! What? It's to your due east! Just fucking look that direction! That's where the only Furbolg in eye length! I don't know what that means, I have 300...
The only Furbolgan. But you got tidbits.
I'm gonna buy you a drink later. Get your knickers out of a bunch. I'll take a look and have Fizzle watch. I guess I'll just try and like find this Furbolg because Rue is having a shit fit.
Sure. River. Roll a perception check with advantage. Now that it has been pointed out.
I got a 18.
An 18.
Use your 6.
I might use my 6. Well, it's getting towards the end of the night. I'm gonna use my 6.
Okay.
24. No, 23.
A 23. Alright. You look over towards Tidbits. In the alleyway, you see the leather-clad Furbolg. And your blood runs cold. You've seen this Furbolg many times in your past. They are one of the leaders of the Saraskara Vipers, going by the name Adder. This is an individual you have seen ruthlessly kill, blackmail, and torture anyone that gets in their way. And you know why they are here. How? You don't know. But one thing is for certain. This Furbolg is one of the most dangerous individuals you have ever met. And if they are here, they are not alone. You feel the hairs on your neck stand up. Even as you look at this individual, you feel that uncertainty. Even when wearing a new face, a new voice, it is a feeling that you've somehow been recognized, even if irrational. What do you do?
I freeze. Try to get my breathing under control before turning around and walking in the opposite direction as casually as fucking possible.
All right. Step after step, you make your way through the crowd. The crowd is almost an after effect, a blur, as you shift and weave away from Tidbits. In the opposite direction of Rue, I'm assuming back towards the caravan, and towards Golineth, Beldis, and Maggie.
Did Rue say something about the caravan? What exactly did Rue say about the caravan that I heard?
I don't remember, I have a goldfish brain.
It was something about they're here for us, potentially.
I'm gonna head to the busiest part of the city.
Okay. Towards Haven or towards the Crystal Caverns, there are technically two places. You could walk right towards the caverns, if you wish.
No,
Okay.
because there's probably a blank spot between the two.
Okay. The most crowded spot in Haven is the auction block. The crowd of voices ring out, with bids both silent and called. The rattling of cages of exotic animals are kind of stirred as they occasionally get brought up onto the block. Goods are hauled, claimed from war, claimed from far parts of Anarion, as you settle in. Roll me a stealth check with advantage.
Are you okay with me using deception to blend in?
Of course.
Advantage still or no?
Of course. You may still have advantage.
Yeah. That is 2 18s on the die for a 23.
23. How do you blend in? Is it just kind of standing in a crowd?
I actually take part in auctions. Not for anything seriously, but just to blend in. So nothing that I would actually win. So just like here and there, making a bid. Just trying to act natural, like I'm another buyer.
Okay. You begin bidding. And and I'm going to go over towards Maggie, Beldis, and Golnath. The three of you are still with the caravan as it pulled up. You know, we'll get some happier music on, why not? I think this is the song I wanted. That's kind of happy. Boar, Brigitte are unloading some of the goods from one of the caravans, Golnath. Malinik is having a smoke. They have kind of a pipe tobacco rolled, and they're just kind of puffing away idly as they rest against one of the walls, standing near one of the horses keeping watch as it waters and is fed. Outside of that, Roswella is still managing the tavern, still kind of hollering out down the street, you know, "The Maiden's Willow Traveling Tavern. Need a place to stay while you travel through the realms? Come here!" Beldis, Maggie, Golnath, is there anything you would like to say or any conversations you would have with potentially leaving members of the caravan that may be traveling on with it?
I think Maggie would go like have an awkward hug with everybody from the caravan, especially the kiddos that she'd been helping to watch during the time that they were traveling, and check in to see what Barad was doing.
Sure. You're easily able to give everyone a hug. Whether it's because it's goodbyes or whether it's just everyone thankful that you have reached your destination, you get a little bit of more warmth in the hugs. There is a little bit more sincerity than, you know, the usual goodbyes. The children latch onto you with the usual questions of like, are you coming back? Are we gonna see you again?
I hope so. I'm probably not going to be with you for a while, but hopefully we'll see each other again. You can say hi to my people in Petal Blossom if you ever go.
Okay. Where's Petal Blossom?
It's back the way that we came, but if you keep traveling with the caravan, I'm sure they'll come around again, or I'll find you again. I'll remember all of your names. You remember mine, right?
Yeah, it's Maggie.
And she'll actually write down her name, her wife's name, her children's names, Petal Blossom, like a little map to where to find her house, and like rip them off and give them to each of the children. Say, keep these safe. Keep these with you, okay? So you can say hi to my people or to me, and we'll give you free honey. I know you like our honey, and you can come and have dinner with us.
Okay. Bees make honey.
They do. Bees make they make very good. My bees make the best honey.
The best honey?
The best.
Okay. And
So someday,
oh, no, continue.
someday come to Petal Blossom so you can have the best honey.
Okay. We will. I'm gonna ask my dad and my mom and my other mom if we can go to Petal Blossom.
And she'll actually write the best honey and underline it on the song.
Yes. All the kids will take it, and you see a lot of parents, and some of the you do recognize because you have been with the caravan for a fairly long time. You do know with some certainty that some of these kids will end up back in Petal Blossom. All things considered. Golnath. Any goodbyes you would like to have? Or potential goodbyes. You don't know who's leaving. Maggie, you did want to check on Barad. Barad is currently kind of like unloading some gear from one of the caravans and kind of carrying it over towards the auction house at the moment.
I'm just going to ask Mel what his plans are. If he's continuing on with the caravan, hanging out with us, or making ways.
Sure. So Malinik takes a huff of their pipe, offers it to you,
No thanks.
offers a nod. Well, as for what I'm going to do, I think that I'm going to go take a look around here, and afterwards, I think I'll make my way down towards Teldwanan. Perhaps see what mischief I can cause in the Empire.
I just smile, nod, reach in my coin purse. I hand him the gold tooth that I took from Nunos, and I lean in almost as if to offer a hug, and I give a half-assed hug, but I whisper in his ear, get message to Sprite, and I'll send you that later. And then I give him a quick pat, and may your travels be safe. Watch your back.
He offers a knowing nod, and he responds in Elvish. May your arrows strike true and fast, and may those who tail your trail never find your secret paths.
I respond in Elvish, they never will, and they always do.
And he'll, return that hug, and then kind of resume smoking. You can see that he's definitely posted out, and he's definitely taking, like, a watch of who's in the town of Haven.
And the other thing I'd like to do, did I notice Rue and River?
I would say they weren't being subtle. So I think you saw them wander off, which, you're in a small little Haven hamlet. I think that, it's about 30 buildings in total. So, you could reach them in, like, 18 seconds flat if you were sprinting.
Okay, would I have seen anything that would have given me reason to follow them? The better question is, did I see anything that would have caused me to think that they would have been in any danger before I lost sight of them?
I guess my response to that is I'll leave that up to you, depending on how paranoid Golineth is. On one side of the coin, super paranoid. If there's people, someone's going to want someone to get stabbed.
Yeah.
Other side of the coin, this is a rather small hamlet. There are guards. There's a lot of commodities. It's fairly safe.
I think I would have erred on the. I think I would have felt that they were safe. I don't think that I would have done anything, and then I also would have had the distraction of wanting to get the message to Mal and see who was coming and going, and so I think my attention would have been focused more on who was joining and not so much our own party.
That's fair. I will say that you definitely hear the eagle cry when they start bringing up that golden eagle that was in the cage in the
That
lineup
would've-
for the things. You would recognize this type of eagle as a eagle native to Teldwanan.
Yeah, that would have gotten my attention, and I did want to explore more about that eagle.
Okay. So you definitely, I think that would be the nice segue of you going that direction, is definitely when that eagle is brought towards the auction. Beldis.
Oh God, I'm so giddy and happy about being here. This is awesome. Beldis is just going around everywhere in the caravan. People he's traveled with, I don't know, this trip, previous trips, whatever. There's handshakes, there's quick hugs, there's goodbyes, there's thank yous, there's everything along those lines. At some point I know in my path I'll make my way past Marie. I'm just going to give them a quick pat on the back, and in Orcish just simply give the cry out of Jivere as I move by. And then at some point, walking away, stop and scream back and comment, "It means live, brave one," and then I keep going forward.
So, as you do pass Rosrella, she stops you. And she walks over to you. And I don't think you've really spoken with Roswella much this adventure. But she is very nice on the eyes, auburn brown hair, slim figure, dressed in kind of a flowery dress. And she walks up to you. Beldis, right?
Where?
Well,
Oh, yes,
Oh.
yes, that's me.
A friend of yours told me to give this to you at the end of our journey. I don't know why, and it was very weird, but I don't pretend to understand. And she will hand you a rock. It is made of veins of pure white, followed by dull bluish gray.
This friend, about 4.5 feet tall, broad shoulders, red hair with a little gray streak going through the beard. Smelled of vinegar.
Strangely so.
Oh, good, good, good. I made the vinegar part up, so I'm glad that part at least came true.
Yeah, they said their name was Mr. Redhammer.
That's yes, yes. Edel, you son of a bitch. When did he give this to you?
Oh, well, it was before we left Anderland, about a month prior. They seemed to know you were coming,
Okay.
and they said, pardon if I try to do the impression wrong. Aye, give this to me friend. He's going to be, going to be in the caravan. He's this tall, goes by the name Beldis, likes to sing songs and tell stories, and, well, he'll know what it means.
He left out the part about my dashing good looks and my amazing aroma? Oh, bastard.
I'm
Thank
afraid
you.
so.
Thank you so much for this. This is a month before. Son of a... Okay. Okay.
He did say one more thing.
Oh.
He said, the stories that rocks tell are best heard where dark things dwell. I literally don't know what that means, but I assumed it's a dwarf thing.
It's a dwarf thing. It is. It's a good thing. Big old hand on the shoulder, or just taller than me, so. On the forearm, or bicep, whatever we are. Thank you.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
Awesome.
Have a safe travel, Mr. Stonesong, and she'll give you a hug.
Yeah. Thankfully, it's only a couple 100 yards. Hopefully, nothing bad happens in that time.
Hopefully.
Rock falls, I die. Boom.
Well, if you ever need a room or a pint, my tavern is always open to you and your friends.
And a fine place it's been. Thank you so much for that.
And someone hollers out, "You got rooms over there!" And, she goes over to, address this potential customer.
Excellent. Make my way out. I wouldn't mind trying to find my way to Brigadier.
Sure. Briggy is towards the tail end of the tavern, or not the tavern, but the caravan. Still recovering. She is in one of the wagons, still covered in bandages. Not capable of kind of walking herself at the moment, but you can find her there.
Kind of quick walk in, poke my head in. Are you still too stubborn to die?
Are ye still too stubborn to grow, dwarf?
Good. I'm glad we're both on the same subject matter here.
What can I do for you, Beldis?
I'm just checking on my work. You haven't torn any of these open, have you? And I kind of look at a couple of the stitches on the side primarily or anything like that.
She'll, raise an arm to let you have a look. No.
Well, good.
I know better than to get up to mischief.
That's fine. So I do have a question for you before I take off. Well, a question and a suggestion. So we're going to start with the question first.
Okay.
So first of all, how many and how big were the giants that you were fighting during this encounter? Because I was thinking around 5 of them, and they were at least as tall as a hill giant and 3 times as ugly.
Well, if you need to know, it was about 5 maybe 6. It wasn't so much that they were giant, more that I was protecting some children.
No, the children, that part is great. We're keeping that in the story. We're just embellishing a little bit of the afterthoughts there. So, I mean, how big do you want these stories to get here?
About 12 feet tall, then.
12 feet tall, no problem. I like this plan. 12 feet tall is great.
And at least several of them had magical weapons.
Oh, and the one that breathed fire. Don't forget about that.
Well, I'm pretty sure he was half a dragon.
Without question. So perfect, excellent. These will be worked on. Hopefully, in time, you'll catch wind of these. And when you do, please speak up and try to get the drinks that'll hopefully come your way.
She starts to laugh, then holds her side. She's like, "Don't make me laugh."
It's what I do. All right. Excellent. So again, thank you so much. And the only suggestion I could possibly give is if you're going to not screen for who's traveling with you, I guess make sure they can patch you up in the long run. Thank you so much for the travel.
It's been a delight, Beldis. Don't get stepped on out there.
I will certainly try. As soon as I make my way around, watch out, I'm walking here. Screaming out randomly for the humor of it.
You'll hear, ow! As she's like holding her stitches and laughing.
Woo. I give a little skip and click my heels together because I'm just that excited.
And I think it's about that time that you and Maggie would see Golanith heading over towards the auction house.
I'd follow. Well, I'd actually look at Beldis and gesture toward Golanith and sort of wordlessly ask if he wanted to follow.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
All right. Make our way.
All right. Let's get. Nope, that's not the one. That was not the right music.
That was some
it's not detective music.
Yeah, I did good. Little Mission Impossible.
All right. This is the music I was looking for. All right. Golanith. What is your passive perception?
13.
Okay. You head into the crowd. Your eyes staying on the eagle that is currently caged. Because River isn't technically stealth, but is just part of the crowd, I'm not going to say they are hidden. But you wouldn't get the sense that anything's amiss with the deception roll that was rolled. But this eagle, you know how they got this. This was stolen. Or at worst, the elf who owned this eagle, who was bonded for life, was murdered. There are very few in this world who would tear an elf from the creature that they have soul bonded with. Almost more powerful than a familiar, they grow to be extensions of an elf. The eagle riders of Talbanon raise eagles that grow to giant sizes, used for war, scouting, and scouring the skies. To find an eagle alone, you know there's very few who would be responsible for this. But if you had to guess, without any rolls, often agents of the Assyrian Empire specifically target elves. Whether they are elves that are working opposed to them, or simply elves that go past the borders of Talbanon. This is not a new sight for you, but it is unpleasant nonetheless. You recognize this eagle as one that belongs to those that typically scout and typically explore, giving you the indication that this was not an agent, this was not a warrior, but rather someone that went past the borders and suffered because of it. You would recognize that these eagles are intelligent, on par with humanoids, and are embodiments of the natural order of life. And here one is being sold in a mockery of most of what you stand for. You hear a goblin that's kind of wearing this big wide-brimmed hat that's standing on this wooden platform.
Do I hear 6 silver? 6 silver for the eagle. 7 silver. Wonderful, wonderful. Do I hear 8?
1 gold.
One gold over to the elf. Do I hear 2 gold? Oh, 2 gold over there. Do I hear 3 gold?
3 gold.
3 gold. Do I hear 5 gold? Oh, 6 gold over there. Do I hear 8 gold?
9 gold and your life.
Roll me intimidation. You know what? If you would like to use an inspiration or a chat crit, you are more than welcome to do so.
I'll use my inspiration. 18.
18. All right. Would you like to use your recap 1d6?
Okay.
I was gonna say, can I give him one of my crits?
If you would like.
I'll give
Okay,
I'll give you one of my crits if you want one.
I'll use a crit. 20.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Golaneth, as you call out your offer, a very generous offer, all things considered, you see the color fade and drop from this, the green skin of this goblin's face for a moment. And they almost not narrow their eyes like intimidatingly, but try to get a better bead on who called out, and they kind of solidify on you. And they notice the ears.
Sold without the language. Sold to this gentleman right over here. Please, come to my office. We'll sign the paperwork. Nothing personal.
I'll take it now.
Oh, well, I suppose now is good.
I go take the eagle.
Wonderful. So the goblin goes over to the cage and quickly is fumbling with some keys. And
I take the cage and the eagle.
Okay, do you want the keys to the cage?
I don't need them.
Okay.
I leave.
Okay.
I grab the keys. Because I've seen something's gone. I grab the keys just so he doesn't have to.
Okay. To pick the locks. Yeah. Yeah. He hands the key over. And it's like, is it hot in here? Is it hot out here? Oh gosh.
Just shut up.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Look, I don't know what you did, but maybe shut the fuck up and get back to what you were doing. Okay.
Like you said, fuck.
That's a furball F-bomb.
The double F.
Yeah. This
Probably
goblin.
the first time you've ever heard that.
Yeah. The goblin goes to the far side of the auction and is like, I'm gonna take a break. We'll be right back in a bit. Just goes into one of the houses and shuts the door, slams the window shut, pulls the curtain down.
Then I walk out with the eagle.
You do so.
And once I get out, I start pulling with the lock, and then thank you, and open it up, and I kind of pull the cloak over my arm and let the eagle perch on it, and I kind of investigate the eagle to see if I can find out who its owner was.
Sure. Roll me a investigation check, and also can Maggie, who is with Golaneth at this moment, or who would like to be?
Yeah, I mean, I noticed something was up since we were
River's
going
also
with
right
it.
there, so River would have heard this.
And I'm there as well, so I would just be
I'm-
keeping it. I want to be watching who's gonna make advance towards Golaneth on this one here, because balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Can I get a
I'm-
perception check from all of you that would like to do so?
Sure. I'm there, and
tangentially keeping an eye on them, but I'm making sure it doesn't look like I'm with them.
Yeah, okay. Noted.
Okay.
Perception, you said?
Yes.
That's a natural 20.
Nat
No.
20 for a total of
Nice.
what?
I'm gonna use one of my advantages from chat.
Okay.
That's nope. Just as
I still have an
I got the
inspiration.
highest is 9.
Okay.
The one time River wishes he was perceptive.
I know
So-
that pain so well.
I also got a natural 20
Okay.
for a grand total of 26.
26.
20,
I did burn my
27 over
inspiration.
here.
27. And Golanath?
17 on the investigation, 14 on the die.
Okay.
Wait, no, 13 on the die plus 4.
Sure. Maggie, Beldis. As Golanath begins to open this cage and, get the eagle out of the corner of your eye, you see an individual. They are human, with a crew-cut hair, close hit, long hilted saber at their hip. They are dressed in almost Roman-esque breastplate with like a legionnaire's kind of hasset. You see them make eyes towards Golanath. Not hostily, but as if marking something. Almost like when a predator or when a hunter lays a trap. Making mental
Entangle.
notes. You're gonna cast straight up Entangle? Okay. You know what? I think that's where we'll have to end the session because I did not prep for this.
Oh! Well, okay then.
So that is where we are going to end the session with...
Nice.
Damn, Maggie, damn.
Maggie got no chill.
We got an F-bomb and an entangle.
Yeah. But what I will say is, Golanath, because you did roll an investigation check, you see inscribed like this little tiny gold bracelet on right on the hilt of like one of the talons.
Mhm.
It is written in Elvish for the House of Fal Naran, one of the many houses of the Sealy Court, typically Eladrin. The bracelet is magical, and it is imbued with kind of almost tracking magic, but less so tracking magic, but more of a recognition of who it belongs to. In the Elven on the far side of the bracelet, outside of the house name, you see the name Celian Anatha. A female name that is like their noble Elvish name. In common, it would usually be called Selena. Because that's a mouthful.
It's just right.
But, so you have the name of its owner as you kind of pull this out. That's what you get. So, let's get this very ominous music out. And
It fits.
I do love this
Leave
music,
it.
though. Leave it? Alright. So, I would like to know 3 things from each one of you. Who you are, what you do, and where can we find you? Any of you can start. I'm going last.
I'll start. I'll do it. Hi, I'm Mare. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. This is the only current stream I'm doing right now. Every other week here on Graham Cracker's channel. In October, I will be running a game of Invisible Sun over on Friends Who Roll Dice. But until then, this is a Graham exclusive here only. And except for on the 21st, 11:59 p.m., I will be on Smutty Saturday on the Lady James channel for Ye August.
Ooh, ooh.
I think that's it. I'll popcorn it. Bob.
Okay.
Popcorn.
Hi, my name's Bob. You can find me on the Twitter and the Twitches at Cycler1eye. I might go back to streaming. We'll decide how life is. Otherwise, I'll be here in 2 weeks again to continue this story. And also at that time, Beldis will be unveiling his new product available for the masses, Essence of Stone. a perfume for those who wish to smell like the mountain that they come across. Ah, like a warm mountain spring of rock sitting there in the sun. I come up with these things on the fly while we talk, and that's just how my mind
I love
goes. With that, I'm going to pop over to a trigger happy Mackie Jen over here.
I'm so glad I remembered that spell. Yeah, I'm Jen. You can find me on Twitter at Quixote Jen, and every Sunday for the next 3 Sundays at 1:30 Pacific time, continuing our Monster Hearts Summer Camp adventure. We have 3 more episodes. It was so drama. It was so feral this last week, and it was very Shape of Water, and I friggin' loved it. And so 3 more sessions that 1:30 Pacific. And looking down the road, I'm trying to get together a fundraiser that I'm going to do for a cancer charity. And sort of one of the ideas of the fundraiser is that everyone who has been touched by cancer as a patient or as a family member, a friend, or close person, to be able to participate in the fundraiser and kind of be some of the players and be part of it. I think we're going to do October, which happens to be both Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which and also my Cancerversary Month. So maybe that'll be the goal. If you are, or someone you know is interested, reach out to me on Twitter. I'm very happy to include anybody that I can. All my carcinomes are welcome. So that's me.
Okay, well, I'm Confounded. You can obviously find me here every other Tuesday night, and you're actually going to hear it here first. I'm going to be starting streaming again, so make sure you follow me on the Twitters at TheConfounded and at Roll for Laughter, because I'm also going to be jumping back in the DM seat as well, and got a long play campaign starting up after I finally finish up another one that's been put on hiatus during all of the chaos that has been my life over the past, well, most specifically 8 months, besides the last year and 8 months. But love your faces. Thanks for tuning in.
Hi everyone, I'm Adam, Adam Islamis, like virtually everywhere on the interwebs. You can find me here every other Tuesday, and on Thursdays at Gilding Light for the Inspectors campaign, which we're starting the new season this week, but I unfortunately cannot be there because I started a new job. So, meh, work sucks. But you know what? That's fine. I'm very blessed to be working again, so I shouldn't say that. I will occasionally stream on my own channel, Twitch/Adamus Lamas. So if you want to watch me be bad at video games, check me out there. And that's me.
I guess that leaves me. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Welcome to my channel, where I get to play a lot of awesome games with a lot of awesome people, and I'm really thankful for. And you know what else I'm thankful for? All of you being here. But that aside, my name is Graham, or Graham Crackers, and you can find me at GrahamCrackers1 on Twitter, but you can find me here every Tuesday where I am either DMing Shards of Anarion or Anarion's Rest. Or you can find me every Friday here, where I am playing Geharis Nervos, your favorite tiefling paladin, who may be trying to usurp a kingdom. You never know. Outside of that, you can find me every Monday on the channel where we're streaming Guild Wars 2. One of my favorite MMORPGs of all time, where we are literally taking members of our community and TTRPG players that have never played this game before and playing together and learning the game with all of you. So far, we have played 2 sessions and made 2 new friends that just wanted to hang out and level with us. It was great.
The excitement from all the dogs.
Right? And then all the excitement. Outside of that,
the dogs want to be your friends. That's why they heard that.
Exactly. Who let the dogs out? Hoo-hoo. But outside of that, you can find me every other Saturday on Polished Cryptids channel at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, where we are playing in our finale this weekend of These Strong Hands, which is based on the 1980s film The Neverending Story. Which, you know, here's a Graham fact for you, Beldis. Gamork in the Neverending Story was one of the first things I ever had nightmares of.
That's a good thing to. That's easy to do. That's
Yep.
Yep.
I think I may have also.
Yep.
Same.
Outside of that, you can find me in a upcoming show on the Games Tavern Network, where we are playing a 4-shot called Baba Yaga's Grift, where, you know, we may have made a deal with Baba Yaga, and we're not going to regret it or anything. But I am playing Adrian Valenmore, a Asmar Warlock, in that campaign. Outside of that, you can find me all over the internet, where I occasionally bounce around, and you'll see this cute little face places. But most importantly, I hope you all have a wonderful night, and stay healthy, stay happy, and we'll see you soon. Feel free to leave a like, and we will see you again. Until our travels pass, take care. Bye for now.
Smell the mountain.
Smell the rock.
Live the mountain.
Bye.